Hey everyone, it's Linear. So today's video, we'll be taking a look at the curve section and all its functions. So in total, there is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, and 9 function under the curve section in the reference page of the P5. So there's Bezier detail, Bezier point, tangent, and then curve detail, curve tightness, curve point, and curve tangent. So let's take a look at each one. Then I'll show you guys in the editors to see how they work. So the Bezier, the original, so the description it says, draw a cube Bezier curve on the screen. These curves are defined by a series of arches and control points. The first two parameters are the arch point, and the last two parameters specify the other arch. So if we look at the example, it shows this, which is kind of interesting shape for it. And then there's another one for like where it just shows like a single curve. And these are like the description on what each point will mean. So let's follow this one. So this first one, I'll definitely change the color to make it. Speaking of color changes, let me quickly go to this because I need the colors. Because I was wondering how to pronounce it. That's why you see the pronunciation tab open. So, so if I can just copy all this, well, just not the no fill part. If I make the background, whoops, I just want to. For all of them, I'm gonna keep the background as black, so the colors can pop more. So 0, leaving the stroke like this, but for the first line, fill, and let's choose yellow for this fill one. For the second one, let's do magenta. Now the colors will be clashing. We'll see how this looks. And then, so fill, and that's it. So let's see what happened when I click start. Let's click start. Oh, the color doesn't clash too much, which is great. Which is kind of interesting how this looks. Compared to this image, I guess it's because it's fill, the colors looks like this. Because it's like too many, like half, like pretty much almost like half moon shapes. So let's do this one. Whoops. So this one's just a little circle, so I'll keep the color. So under the stroke, so right here. Well, this part I don't need. But I think if I put fill here, and let's choose yellow again. There. Yeah. Oh, this is different. Oh, right, because this doesn't show you the full screen. So this would have been shown. This looks kind of cool. Oh, if you have like another one on this side, on my right, it looked like it looked like scissors. So the next one is detail. For this description, it says set the resolution at which the Bezier curve is displayed. The default value is 20. Note this function only is useful when using the WEBGL renderer as the default canvas. So this is like to keep in mind. So I need to copy this whole part. Keeping so if we copy from here actually. So let me copy this part first. So function. Then background. So let me move this all into one line because it might look confusing to some of you guys. There. So let me see. So let's see what happens when this looks. But if I make the background, since the lines will all be black, y will be 255. So there we go. So this is what it looks like. But let's see. So let's see what happens also if you change some of the numbers. So changing some of the numbers inside of this will change the look of it. So again, you can also just remember when you're trying to add a color to an object, you want to make sure it's above the object you want to do. So that's that one. Next is Bezier point. Oops. For this description, it says given the x or y coordinate value control and the anchor point of the Bezier curve, it evaluates the x or y coordinate on the Bezier at position t. The parameters of a and d are the x or y coordinate at first and last point of the curve, while b and c are the control point. So this is what it would look like. So let's delete this part. I think I just need the no fill part from here. I'm going to change some numbers, see it will give us a different effect. Compare. So instead of 10, let's try 30. I'm not touching anything in the for loop except for this part. Let's change that to 10. I'm gonna change this into another color to like silver, which is in 192. And then these I'm gonna bump up by 10, so 100, 25, 30, 20, 100, and 90. And that's it for this one. Nothing happened. This is interesting. Let's see if I bring this back and then slowly. You can you can barely see it. I wonder if this has to do with anything. There we go. Yep, it was because of that. If I make the canvas a little bigger, oh, let's do 300 actually, and change everything by 10, like I wanted. Let's see if that will give anything different. Oops. Yep. Compared to the original, they all are much thicker. So you can play around with this, give like different results. So just the parameter, A is for the first point of the curve, B is the control point, C is the second control point, and D is the second point of the curve. And then T is the value between 0 and 1. The next one at the point, is tangent. Tangent is to evaluate the tangent to the Bizarre at the position T for A, B, C, and D. The parameter A and D are the first and last point of the curve, and B and C are the control points. So just like the previous example. But unlike the other one, this one is showing lines. Almost look like a centipede. Good lord. For anyone's afraid of anything, I apologize. So for this one, I'm just going to delete the comments for this. Just like before, if we just switch the numbers up a little. So we did over 20, so 105, 40, 30, 30, 110, 110, 35, and 100. Let's see what happens if I put 26 here. Let's choose another color. So 0 for some picking blue. So 105, 30, 110, 35, 40, 30, 110, 100. I'm gonna leave the struct there, so I'll just bump the, these part by 20, so, and then make these 10. And there. Let's see what happens. That looks really great. That looks really cool. It looks like it's waving his hair back and forth. So that's pretty much what this one you can do, almost creating like a little centipede and making its points, like each of the lines in different ways. So again, just like the other one, you can play around with this to make different alignment and shape. So, oops. Now we're going on to curves. So this one's a bit more simpler compared to the design. For the description, it says draw a curved line on the screen between 2 points, given as the middle 4 parameters. The first parameters are control points. So the description, it looks like it's pretty much the same for all of them, with some minor differences. Longer curve can be created by putting series of curve dysfunction together using the curve vertex, and I did some function called the curve tightness, provided controls for using. So it's pretty simple with this one. So it looks like you can make a U. If you turn the curve like upside down, you can make an N, or right side up, you'll have a U. Or in this case, this one looks like the most interesting. I don't know, it's because we cannot see it fully now, but let's see what happens. So let me change these numbers by 30 to see what happens. Sorry about the strange cut. Something happened with my recording, so I had to redo it. I had to restart it. So let me finish up changing all the number up by 30, and then we'll see. And then we'll see the results. So 30. And that's it. So let's see what happens. Let me make the background. So let me change some of the colors in the curve to make it more visible. First, so let me make this background 0. And for the strokes, for this one, I'm gonna make all of them pretty much yellow. Actually, maybe, whoops, which version of yellow we'll see. Well, let's make them gold. There we go. Oh, that looked kind of cool. That looked really cool with the colors. Because it kind of looked like a logo of some sort. So that one, so that's pretty much what this curve function. The other ones are pretty much like a simple U. It looks like it, like one that defines the point, and then the other two extends it. But they are each defined differently. Since pretty much the both of them are the same, let's just go over the easier of the two, which is this one where you just need to just do stroke, curve, like the other. So let me grab the one for gold again. I'll leave the numbers alone for this one. That looks really cool. So it's pretty much the defined arch, and then the two endpoints that leads to the line. Next is curve detail. So the description for this one says set the resolution at which the curve display. Default value is 20 while the minimum value is 3. The function is only useful with the LEBGL renderer, as a default canvas renderer does not use this information. So for this one, it looks like like it's flattened, kinda. So so copying this part. So let me do this way. And then I'll delete this one, and let's see what happens. So just like the image, let me make this a bit bigger, and also I'm gonna put this up to 50. I'm gonna ignore these points, the first three, and then just add a 1 to each of them. In this case, to see what happens. Yeah, it definitely changes. It looks more flattened like that, which is pretty cool and interesting. So that's what this one does. So the next one, so after details, it's tightness. So for this description, it says modify the quality of forms created by the canvas function and the canvas vertex function. The parameter tightness determine on how the curve fits the vertex point. The value 0.0 is the default value for the tightness. The value defines the curves at Catmull Ron spiral and the value of 1.0 connects all points with a straight line. Value within the range of negative 5.0 and 5.0 will deform the curve but will leave them recognizable as the value increase in magnitude. So, okay, this, I gotta make the canvas a bit larger and change the number slightly so everyone can see. So I'm gonna leave this part alone and change everything, let's say 50, so 60. Oh, I forgot to change the canvas size. There we go. So that's really interesting. You can deal with it. If depending on which way I move it, left or right, it will change it. That look like a rocket ship almost. Straight up arrows. So rectangle with a slight curve, turning more like a thumb or like an eraser actually. Straight up arrow, going backward. It's like an almost like a cursive M. Then getting really weird. It's really cool what you can do with this one with the tightness function. After tightness, we're moving on to curve point. Similar to the Bezazzle point, it shows from previously from this one, it looks the same. I guess the only difference is with the Bezazzle point, it looks like it keeps it straight while emphasis on the nerve, it curves it. So evaluate the curve point t from point A, B, C, D. The parameter t varies between 0 and 1, pretty much similar to all the others. So you can see it changes, but again, if just like before, if you change up the number, it might look something different and stuff like that. So I'll change a couple of the numbers, not the whole number this time. Whatever ones I feel like. Let me retype this one. Yeah, and now due to what the numbers have changed, now all the points are scattered, but it still have the curve part. So after curve point, the last one is tangent. For this one, it said evaluate the tangent to a curve at a position t from point A. So pretty much similar to the other, pretty much the exact same description. Those look like eyelash in that. So this will be the last one. So just want to make sure I know what to delete. Just delete this extra. Yeah, those straight up look like eyelashes. I just want to make this a little. So just like before, if you change the numbers, it might give a different effect, like a difference, like separating the lines or turning the curve part over. And that's pretty much it for this And that'll be it for I'll be showing you guys. So if you guys like me showing off the different categories and functions that the referencings have, please let me know in the comments. Until next time, bye everyone.